Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, our channel Divine Truth Tarot. I'm Sarah, I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. I'm going to do a short reading here for this evening. We've got two decks. I have the Sacred Destiny Oracle and the Angel Wisdom Tarot by Radleigh Valentine. And we're just going to do a little exploration of the energies. I did a reading earlier today talking a lot about what's going on, how a lot of the feminines are feeling. I have some divine feminine friends, and we're all sort of feeling the same way. And many of you echoed and reflected that sentiment. So, you know, the feminine has, in essence, sort of removed herself from the longing and the pining energies for her masculine or, you know, for his masculine. And there's this energy of, it's definitely independence. It's also sort of exhaustion. And although the feminine understands that the masculine's been under tremendous stress and warfare, there's still this just incredible pain that has been caused by separation. And I feel as though the feminines just sort of need a break. And the feminines are sort of going their own way for the interim, while the masculine is able to sort out what's going on in his world or her world. So I wanted to do another check-in. We're going to start with the Angel Wisdom Tarot and put the other deck aside temporarily. We've got our wolf mascot here. And for those of you who don't know her name, she's Seraphina Aurora. She is our mascot. She is a divine feminine. Okay, so we have the divine feminine energies for the planet. I am looking for wolf decorations. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. I'll add them to my Amazon wish list. And I'm just looking for, I was sort of looking the other day, but I wasn't sure what else I could purchase. But this was a gift from Ronald, from one of our divine feminine viewers and part of our family. And I love it so much. And I thought, well, I want more wolf mascots and decorations to have for the videos to really show for, to really just represent the channel, represent the divine feminine and the dance she does, you know, with the moon, the howl here, you know, the wolf, our little Seraphina Aurora, she's howling at the moon. And this is really, it's how the feminine's really feeling right now. She's feeling this, there's a deep sadness that's come to the surface. It's not really anger anymore for the feminine. It's more like a sadness. And she sort of just is remembering back to simpler times. So Archangel Michael, please create a sphere of protection around this reading, around these cards, around everyone watching, around myself. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just creating some protection around the cards. What I wanted to do was, let me just think for a minute. This is sort of an impromptu reading before I wind down for the night. So let us focus on what is clouding the judgment of the masculine. There we go. What is clouding the judgment of the masculine right now? What is clouding the judgment of the masculine? Okay. Yes. Okay. So what the masculine is, we've got the 5 of Wands and the 8 of Swords. Okay. There's a sense, the 8 of Swords indicates a sense of entrapment. It's usually self-entrapment. It's the illusion of being trapped, and it's created by the ego. It's created by the mind. It's created by blocks and obstacles in the mind, because the swords indicate our mental capacity. A lack of self-confidence that makes you feel helpless, being afraid to take action, take responsibility for your life. So it's like he has imprisoned himself away from the feminine. Now, as one of our divine masculine viewers reached out on the channel, on the video that I posted earlier today, made a really good statement. There has been warfare on the masculines. And I hesitate to talk about that because I don't want to invite in sort of those lower level energies or vibrations to the channel, but yet they're truths, right? So the truth does need to be spoken and does need to be understood. The masculines have sort of been held back in shackles and imprisoned by these lower level, shadow energies. And this isn't just in this lifetime. It's not just this year. This has been going on for centuries, for lifetimes. So the masculines are desperately trying to break free, but there's a sense they still feel like they're trapped and they can't find their sword. It's like they've blindfolded themselves, but it's really not them blindfolding themselves. It's the energies. It's this malevolent forces that are trying to keep the twins apart. And this is what's caused the masculines to really lash out at their feminines, or not even lash out, but just sort of ghost or disappear or hurt their feminines. Because this divine masculine, and I've pinned the comment. I don't know if it's he or she, so I don't want to presume, but I've pinned the comment on the last video that I posted earlier today, so you can go check it out. It's really good information. And, the masculines don't ever want to hurt the feminine. I've said that several times on the channel. It's been out of their control. So if your masculine is not communicating, if your masculine seems to have ghosted, they are trying to get to you. They feel as though they've been locked out of your life. They feel as though they've been locked out of happiness, locked out of basically any way out of this hell that they feel like they've been in for the majority of 2020. And with the Five of Wands energy, this is conflict. I usually see the Five of Wands as conflict with oneself, but this can also represent conflict with other people, like opposing opinions or being at war with others. Walk away from the drama and stand up for yourself. So the masculines are having to stand up for themselves against these malevolent forces. And it's taking a lot out of the masculines. It's really exhausting the poor masculines. And all the feminines are really seeing is that they're not making any movement. They haven't made any changes in the physical. Everything looks the same in the 3D. And so the feminine is really slowly losing faith and hope. And the masculines are over here like, I'm trying to get to you. Like I'm trying to light my path. You can see that he's trying to light his path, but he's confused as to which one of him is actually authentic. There's so many versions of the masculine and there's so many masks that have been worn that he's not sure which one is actually the truth. Okay, which is the real version of me. So he's trying to find himself, or she's trying to find herself. And interestingly enough, we have the Four of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles. So this talks about the seeds that have been planted, right? This is earth energy, grounding energy. This is the seeds that have been planted in the 3D and these connections. So this is what would bring the two of you together, but they haven't yet bloomed. And so this is a time for resting. This is like the masculine's feeling like, I didn't put in enough effort. I wish I would have said more. I wish I would have done more in the past, because now they feel like this pause, this sacred pause that we've been in 2020, where the masculines feel like they can't make a move. They feel like they don't know if they did enough, and they don't know if they watered the seeds enough that this relationship, that this connection will continue to blossom. They sort of feel like they ruined it. They sort of feel like, I don't think I've done enough. And so there's a lot of self-blame. There's a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of self-criticism still going on with the masculines, feeling like they should have done more. I could have done, should have, could have, would have, like shooting on yourself, right? And that's causing them to really, it's actually causing fear and causing them to not act, when that's really all the feminine wants, is to see some sort of action or motion in the 3D. So much to celebrate. Four of Wands. Send gratitude to the divine and the angels for the peace and prosperity coming to you. Peace and contentment in your personal life. This is the card of celebration. We know this. This is the card of prosperous beginnings. This is the card of weddings. This is the card of coming together. And this is what the masculines deeply desire. The masculines deeply desire this peace and contentment, but it's almost as if they don't feel like they deserve it. Okay? Guys, give me just 1 second here. Sorry, I have to check on something. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that interruption. So, like I was saying, this is what the masculines desperately desire and desperately want. This is what their heart desires. Their heart still beats for the feminine. They just haven't been able to see a way to her. It's literally like their path has been blocked. I've shared a little bit of my story, but this entire year since I put up my boundaries regarding the situation my masculine is in and said, you know, this is what needs to happen. This is what needs to shift for me. And I really chose myself in that situation. My masculine has been quiet. He's reached out twice in the past 9 months, which is not a lot. And considering we were in pretty constant communication there for the first 8 months with little separations here and there, but nothing more than 6 weeks. So this is by far the longest one. And it's to the point where when I do reach out or send something with absolutely no pressure, just, you know, I usually send like information or an article like, hey, maybe you want to check this out when you're ready. It takes him weeks to read, and then it's usually just a couple words of a response. And it feels so strange because it doesn't feel like him. It feels like he's holding back, or something is holding him back from being able to actually honestly communicate with me and effectively communicate, because it's like there's a strain. It's like he just can't seem to get to me. Like he knows that I'm the prize. He knows that our connection and being together, that's the prize. I mean, that's what he truly desires. But it's like he just can't seem to find the way. And he's trying. It's like he's trying to find that version of himself that can get to me. But he's like, I don't know. Where's the light? So he's trying to find the light, and he's trying to find his way. But it does feel like sort of this invisible force that's keeping us apart. And I know a lot of you can really attest to that. And it's maddening when you're the feminine, because all you see or feel is your masculine abandoning and rejecting you. And even though you know on a deeper level, you've done enough healing to know that he's not or she's not, that's what it feels like. So it brings up all these wounds of rejection and abandonment to heal. Then the feminine heals that. And it seems like there's always deeper levels to heal. So we heal, and then we heal some more, then we heal some more, then we get triggered, then we heal some more, then we get triggered again, then we heal some more. But it's getting to the point, you know, in 2020 where it literally has felt like there have been forces in the past that were trying to keep twins apart. And now those forces are slowly losing their power. It's like those forces are being suffocated because they're miserable, right? They're not like, they just want to see other people miserable, and they want to take other people down. But the feminine has to believe that the masculine will prevail, that the masculine has enough courage and confidence, power to get through this. So the feminine sort of has to step back at this time and trust that the masculine is going to untangle himself from the mess that he or she is in. And then the masculine will realize, oh my gosh, I can just open this gate. It's not actually locked. And I can actually take this blindfold off. I didn't realize I could do that. So it's like the masculines have been sort of paralyzed in a sense. So when the masculine wakes up, you know, they're going to want to send the feminine a message. This is going to be an emotional message. It might not be a long message or long-winded, but it's going to be a meaningful message with the Page of Cups here. And there's going to be, I feel like the 5D is going to become more intense, especially as we lead up to Halloween, as we lead up to that full moon, as we lead up to the new moon in Scorpio, as we lead up to these transformative astrological meetups that we have here, that we've had here. I mean, 2020 was never going to be an easy year astrologically speaking. It was always going to be combustible. It was always going to sort of be lit on fire. It was always going to light a fire under us and get us to change and evolve and shift and head into Aquarius energies, right? The dawning of the age of Aquarius. It was always going to do that. I just don't think we realized how much or how fast or how incredibly powerful these energies would be. And the masculines have really been hit over the head. So the masculines have a lot going on, but they do want to come in and be open and vulnerable with the feminine. So they do want to offer that because they desire this as much as you do. So this is the feminine longing for the masculine, you know, hoping he'll come in, you know, that's her cup of love. And the masculine actually wants to offer her his cup of love. She just doesn't know it yet. So how can the feminine assist in this transformation? How can the feminine assist in helping the masculine the Empress, you can step into the role of the Empress. You can step into the role, you know, take action and create the abundance and prosperity in your own life. This speaks to the sacral chakra, to the creative chakra, your sensual chakra, the second chakra. And this really speaks to the feminine creating abundance in her own life or his own life, and sort of allowing the masculine to fall, allowing the masculine to stumble, and allowing the masculine to find his way, even if it's blindfolded, even if it's in the dark, you know, even if that's what it takes, because it might take that for some of these masculines. They need to push through. They need to break the curse that's, you know, been on them for lifetimes after lifetimes. It's time, masculines. This is the time. And the feminines have done the work. The feminines have lit the way, and the feminines have put in a lot of hours, a lot of time, you know, during the 40, during dream state. And the feminines are holding space, but still moving forward. So the masculine wants the feminine to actually move forward, continue creating that abundance in her life, because she can't give from an empty cup. And I remember my masculine telling me once, he had something going on in his personal life with his family. And he said to me, I said, well, what can I do for you? And he said, nothing. He said, you can take care of you. I want you to take care of you. And it was so profound, because I don't recall any man ever saying that to me, ever. Any man that I had been romantically involved with ever telling me, oh, I just want you to take care of yourself. It was always what you can do for me. And so for him to say that was extremely profound. And I don't think I really understood or appreciated what he was saying until long after the fact. And I realized that that was an act of love. That he didn't want me to worry about him. He just wanted me to worry about myself. And in essence, he was telling me, become the Empress, become the Queen. You know, I want you to stay in your power, to stay in your energy. Don't let me take you down. You know, I have things going on in my life and you don't deserve to be affected by them. It's the reason why a lot of twins have been pulled apart in 2020, is because the masculine was trying to protect the feminine. The feminine was trying to protect herself. So you were both trying to protect you from whatever was going on in the masculine's life. You had to hold the energy steady in the 5D as much as you could, even though you felt wobbly this year, while the masculine held the energy steady in the 3D as much as he or she could. Okay, so you couldn't both be doing that together. It would have been actually dangerous for the feminine to be involved in that. So that's why the separations have occurred this year. We have the Ace of Cups. You know, new beginnings, right? Beautiful beginnings filled with innocence, forgetting the past, forgiving the past, okay? Letting the past go, a deepening of a relationship, and deepening of, you know, it's interesting to have the Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups here. This really speaks to emotional beginnings, vulnerabilities being revealed, vulnerabilities being discussed, and a deeper connection. So if you've had even if you've been in touch with your masculine this year, if you've had a very sort of superficial connection this year, that's about to deepen, that's about to shift, and that's about to change. You're going to be, like I said, the 5D is going to be ramping up, picking up speed here in the coming weeks and months. And I would expect the masculines, some of them, to be offering the feminines a new beginning. And like I've said before, those of you who have been in lack of communication for a long time, like I'm hearing longer than 6 months, if you've been sort of in no communication or very little communication, you can expect a lot of power and a lot of change to come in, to go from 0 to 60 in no time flat. So some twins are doing a lot of the work together, and other twins are doing the work apart. Now, I feel like the twins that are doing the work apart in 2020 and part of 2019, I feel like those twins, there may have been more warfare waged on those twins, because they were actually very powerful. And so there was this desire to separate them, but there was also this need to separate them because the feminine needed to be protected. So there's some interesting energies, there's some interesting theories and thoughts there that I have about why there are twins who aren't in communication, and why I feel like those who are in total separation are actually going to be completely surprised. There's just going to be, instead of there being little shifts, you know, leading up to a big shift. There's just going to be one giant shift, and your masculine will just come in, and there will be truth revealed in that moment, in that experience, in that time, and everything is going to come together and make sense. But I feel like you're not going to know anything. You're going to be totally blindfolded until that happens. These masculines are blindfolded, these feminines and these connections are blindfolded, and you're just going to, it's like everything's going to be revealed all of a sudden out of nowhere. It's going to be like, where did that come from? So that's what I see happening for the twins that are in basically total separation. How can the masculines get out of this energy? The masculines need to understand their potential. This is a volcano that's erupting or about to erupt. So the masculines need to understand the power that they actually carry, the power that they have inherent in their DNA, because they are divine masculines. They need to step into their divinity and out of this 3D structure that sort of creates victims out of the masculines and allows them to feel like they're trapped. This is sort of like, you know what this reminds me of, this mirror card? It reminds me of that, I think I said this before, but it reminds me of that, you would find it at a fair, at a local fair, the House of Mirrors. And it's a scary place because you sort of get lost and you try to find your way out, but there's mirrors everywhere and you just see your own reflection. So the masculines have been dealing with nothing but their own reflections in 2020. And it's not exactly enjoyable. It's scary. They've had to face their darkest fears. They've had to face their shadow self. So the masculines are really, you know, that's why they've gone through all these emotions of being, you know, totally like lack of faith and anger and pissed off and ashamed and feeling guilty and feeling sad and like heartbroken and despair, and all of these emotions was because they were forced with seeing all aspects of themselves and starting to heal all of those fragmented aspects. So the masculines need to wake up to their potential again and realize who they are, right? This whole journey is about realizing who you truly are, but it's easy to forget because of everything we have to go through. So what can the feminine do to help the masculine? Power. Oh, interesting. Potential. Masculines got potential. Feminines got power. So the masculines, the feminines can remind the masculines of their power. So the masculines know they have it. The feminines can ignite this potential. The feminines can give them nudges. So what I've been doing all year is I've been sending, like every couple months, I've sent a link to a video with two twins who were in separation, who came back into union and were in the same situation my twin and I are in, or similar anyway. I sent another video, you know, like I've sent links to things here and there, but nothing overwhelming, and just saying like, read this if you'd like to, no pressure. So you can ignite that potential in the masculine, sometimes just with one word, sometimes just with a look, sometimes just with connecting. If you're able to connect, if you're able to see each other, even over a video call, just that connection can really ignite the masculine. So that's what the feminines can do. And let's check in with the union energy. So what about this union energy right now with all of this chaos? Tell me what the union energy looks like. There's a need to simplify. There's a need to bring things back down to their basic units, right? To their basic parts. Simplicity. There's a need to breathe and release and exhale. There is a need to let go. There's a need to surrender. There's a need to surrender to the divine design of these connections, which of course is surrendering to divine alignment, divine timing. What else? Relaxation. I think both twins just need a rest at this time. I mean, you get simplicity and relaxation in the union energies. I think there's just a need for both twins to sort of take it easy right now. This is such a Halloween card, huh? So, and look, it's a full moon on Halloween. So yeah, take it easy, relax, especially around the full moon. And let's check in here. Union energies. Okay, that one just wanted to fall out. I was going to actually put it back in the deck and it fell out. So that was the Emperor, my friends. So yeah, I mean, this has been coming up for the masculine. So it sort of seems contradictory because of what we're seeing on the 3D, but the masculine's wanting to step up into this leadership role, wanting to really activate their power and potential. And Five of Pentacles, yeah, this is sort of feeling left out in the cold. And so the masculines needing to rise above that, needing to recognize their potential, rising above that. And the feminine's also feeling left out in the cold. This is coming up over and over, another theme that's been coming up recently for the twins. So both twins needing to sort of relax out of that state, relax into what is, accept what is, so that you can welcome in what will be. The more we resist, the more it's going to persist, right? King of Swords, Eight of Water, Eight of Cups. Both twins are going to have to walk away from something, whether it's a belief system, a relationship, toxic family members, past versions of yourself, whatever that might be. You're going to have to walk away. Maybe one of you is going to have to move to the other, but there's going to have to be concessions made. Okay. There's going to have to be, both twins are going to have to make some movement in the physical. This is leaving home though. I mean, this again, this tells me this is the masculine leaving with the one bag. This is the masculine, like not even looking back, just looking forward. Maybe a little confused, maybe a little like a deer in headlights. I'm not sure what comes next, but this is the masculine leaving. Okay. This looks like a very bored king in this deck, but the King of Swords, yeah, talks about being emotionally unavailable. What I see in this card is someone who may need some time alone and may need some time to regroup and sort of recover after walking away from what they need to walk away from. There's going to be this need to recover, but that doesn't mean they won't be contacting you, because remember, we had Page of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so it doesn't mean that they're creating. This is all laying the groundwork for that reconnection. Okay, it's just that right now some change needs to happen in the masculine's 3D world. Masculine's working hard to become the Emperor. They don't want to leave the feminine out in the cold. It's just that they haven't really had a choice. So I hope this reading has helped, guys. I'm going to have to cut it short there. I need to go. It's getting late. I want to relax and rest myself. Speaking of relaxation, send you guys so much love, and I'll see you tomorrow.